is it just a fear? Because everyone has three personalities. They have their public personality, their private personality, and then their secret personality.
Yeah.
And they're three distinct people. And they're scared of how they're going to be judged and perceived if they put stuff online, because they know that they're just putting out their public personality, which is not the real them.
Exactly.
Real them is their private. That's the stuff your brother sees, your friends see, your wife sees.
Sit back and relax and get ready for another exclusive episode of the Online Marketing Secrets Podcast with Lopez.
This episode is brought to you by the best AI software online called Goody. That's Goody. Goody will help you create all content for your blogs, websites, newsletters, articles, ads, and even pictures, LinkedIn posts, Twitter, you name it. All you got to do is go to lopezthesane.com/Goody. That's Goody. And the best part about Goody is absolutely free. That's right. It's free for the first 7 days. You can cancel at any time. Goody will help you create all your contents for your blogs and websites online. And it's 100% absolutely free, full access for the first 7 days. All you got to do is go to my website. That's lopezthesane.com/Goody. That's Goody. Or just click the link in the show notes and get started today. Welcome to another episode of the Online Marketing Secrets Podcast. I'm your host, Lopez. So like and share this episode. So any questions, any concerns, anything you want me to talk about, anybody you would like me to bring on the podcast and talk to, send your email at support@kingofcashflowwebsites.com or just click the link below. I want to hear your feedback, your opinions, any concerns, any topic ideas. If you need any help, that's how you get in contact with me. Support@kingofcashflowwebsites.com. So with that being said, I have another special guest. Today, my guest is going to show you how to create your own financial freedom. He's going to show you how to hustle less, earn more, live more, and work smart and not harder. And he's going to tell you about all the trials and tribulations that he's been through. And he's going to show you how you don't have to go through all that, because he's done all the work for you. So my special guest is Jermane Cheathem. Welcome to the show. So where you from?
Arizona, Phoenix.
Oh, born and raised?
Born and raised, one of the few. Most people there are all implants, but I'm one of the few that was born and raised there.
Oh, nice. I went there last week. Yeah, I went there last week for the first time. You know, the weather was, daytime is nice, nighttime is chilly.
Yeah, it's kind of awkward this time of year in Phoenix, just because, from, I would say, November to probably March, you get beautiful daytime, 70 degrees. But then as soon as that sun goes down, it's that desert cold where it's just dry and cold. So you got to wear layers because you don't know what you're going to be faced with. 1 p.m. is totally different than 8 a.m.
Yeah, I got caught off guard. But overall, it's a beautiful city. It's a beautiful city. I can see why.
Yeah.
I can see why, and it's not crowded. It's not crowded like here in Charlotte where I'm at. It's not like New York City. It's not crowded like that. No, not at all.
No, very spread out. And if you're into like hospitality stuff, like restaurants and golf and spas, that's the place to be.
Yeah. So being that you're from Phoenix, how'd you get started online? What made you come online?
Define online.
Like websites, social media, ads.
There's one word and one word only: entrepreneurship.
Okay.
If you have something to offer, the best way to do it is to be doing it publicly. And there's all these platforms that are free, and you'd be dumb not to utilize them. In my book, number one. Number two, when you're not an entrepreneur, there's really no reason to be on social media. Because if you're just an employee, when I was an employee, I had zero reason to be on social media, so I wasn't on it.
Yeah.
And because when am I going to take pictures of my food, or I just don't care. But
yeah,
when you have a business and you can help people, I think it's moral obligation to put it out there. Because if you don't, that tells me you don't believe in what you're doing.
Yeah. I wish a whole lot of people thought like that. But I remember when I first came online, I was blogging, I was writing, and I used to tell people, hey, I got a blog that I do, whatever. It's like, what's that? I said, oh, I just write basically whatever I want, at the time, right? And it was like, oh, you're scamming. You're one of those people. That's what people used to say. That's how long I've been online, right? And of course, things progressed from there or whatever. And I started buying books, and I think I created my first website probably like 2 years later. And then I started doing it for other people. And then, I used to invite people over to my house, and they used to see some of my books, and they was like, oh, it's internet marketing books. You're scam. Oh, shit. And a lot of people have this attitude like, well, they just don't want to have anything to do with anything online. So that's why I wish a lot of people think like you just said, but it's not. Things have changed, but some things still stay the same. You know what I mean?
For sure. I think it has to do with like the age of who you're dealing with too. If you're from the old school, you're almost like, if you're 50, 60, 70, it kind of makes sense to a certain degree, especially if you don't have a business. Yeah. And I actually have a funny story about that, because I was in Tulum back in 2012, before Tulum became what it is now. And I had this awesome beachfront condo, and I was there for like 2 or 3 weeks. And this is when I was still an employee. And I was rummaging through the condo, and I ran into or found a letter from a previous guest. And he was basically writing down all his dreams, hopes, and aspirations. So I was reading all his dreams and hopes. It sounds like he was there on a retreat or something. Mm-hmm. And he said, and I remember this so vividly, and I remember laughing so hard about it in 2012. He said, I want to build a business online and make money. And I remember reading that and thinking to myself vividly and saying to myself, oh, he's too late. And mind you, I wasn't online. I wasn't on social media. I wasn't doing nothing. And I was thinking to myself, oh, he's too late. The ship has already passed. And now it's 2023, 10, 11 years later, and I'm just getting online. And it's like the fallacy of the mind to think it's too late. The ship has passed. There's no time. There's not enough room. It's like one of the stupidest things humans can ever do, because there's always time if you're good. There's always time if you start now. There's always time if you're consistent, because that's just the nature of the game. Consistency over time in one focused area always wins.
Yeah. A lot of people, and then you have some people, they have restrictions because of their jobs. There's some people that I meet that they want to have an online presence, right? But too many restrictions from their jobs, for whatever reason. There's a whole list of reasons why certain job positions or certain companies don't want their employees to be online. And then there's some people that they don't like how they look on camera. I don't know what to say. And I said, well, you can just say the same thing you say when you get up and speak in front of people. It's the same. Just record it, and just put those clips up and just see what happens, Perfect. So there's a lot of different, there's different age groups, just like as you said, but I would say people is in my age bracket, let's say 40s, 50s, they're kind of like, they don't really want anything to do with the internet for the most part. There's always outliers, there's always the exceptions, but the younger people, they've actually embraced the internet, and I like it, and I it's not too late. I think it's really the beginning, really. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think it's definitely the beginning. The thing about the internet and social media in general is everybody's on it. That doesn't mean everyone's actively posting on it.
Yeah.
Old people are on the internet. They're on Facebook. They're spying. Yeah. They're looking. They're lurking. They ain't posting anything, but they're there. I mean, 99% of people are lurkers. There's only probably, in the whole world, I don't know, 10, 20 million people that are actually posting consistently, day in and day out. Out of 7 billion people, most people are just looking and watching and consumers and not creators. The other interesting thing, like what you were saying about people being uncomfortable being on camera or posting or whatever they want to say online, is it's just a fear, because everyone has 3 personalities. They have their public personality, their private personality, and then their secret personality.
Yeah.
And they're 3 distinct people, and they're scared of how they're going to be judged and perceived if they put stuff online, because they know that they're just putting out their public personality, which is not the real them. Exactly. Real them is their private. That's the stuff your brother sees, your friend sees, your wife sees, and they're scared of letting that part of themselves be seen. It's just a fear, and it just takes time. It just takes, I guess, self-confidence. It takes. You know what it takes really at the end of the day? It takes doing things that make you proud of yourself. And then after you do that long enough, you don't give a shit what anybody thinks about what you're doing, because you already filled up that hole based on like the stuff you've done, the stuff you've created. You don't need their acknowledgement or applause or boos.
Exactly. So, what made you say, "Hey, I'm gonna create some kind of online presence for myself, and I'm going to help other people do the same"? What gave you the confidence to do that? What made you felt like, "Hey, I can do this"?
Well, the thing that changed for me was I had a product and a service I wanted to sell that I created. It was a course. I didn't realize how hard it was to market it. Once it was created, I was like, okay, people are just going to start coming. And I realized, this is a long game, the marketing thing. It's a long tail. And I said, well, the most efficient, most effective, the most leveraged thing I can do based on my personality and based on my...
This episode is brought to you by the best AI software online called Goody. That's Goody. Goody will help you create all content for your blogs, websites, newsletters, articles, ads, and even pictures, LinkedIn posts, Twitter, you name it. All you got to do is go to lopezthesane.com/Goody. That's Goody. And the best part about Goody is absolutely free. That's right. It's free for the first 7 days. You can cancel at any time. Goody will help you create all your contents for your blogs and websites online. And it's 100% absolutely free, full access for the first 7 days. All you got to do is go to my website. That's lopezthesane.com/Goody. That's Goody. Or just click the link in the show notes and get started today.
Skill set is to be online. And so that was really kind of what it was. But it's a struggle, like you were saying, because I didn't want people to know my private personality. I wanted people just to know my public personality. It's a different thing. So, now I've really merged myself for the most part, but just most people just get to see my private personality. This is just how I pretty much nobody knows my secret personality, which is always kind of fun. Because everybody has their little secret things that nobody knows about. But yeah, I think, once you get over that whole fear of, letting people into your private personality and not always being this, robot and very professional or very whatever, it's way easier.
Yeah. How do you I guess decide how much to put out there as far as your personalities go? Because some people will they'll put the professional stuff out there, educational stuff out there, but their personal life that's kept secret. And a lot of people are like that. Or some people will put their personal life out there and very little educational stuff, or they talk about the business or whatever business they're in is very little. So how do you manage?
I don't manage anything. I just trust myself at the end of the day to show up as myself, because here's the thing is there's nothing to hide if it's true.
Exactly.
Number one. Yeah. Number two is if you're trying to hide something that's true that actually could benefit other people, then you're doing them a disservice and you're doing yourself a disservice, because you're hiding a part of your shadow personality that actually wants to come to the light. Because once it hits the light, then it doesn't have that strong grasp on you. It doesn't have that fear over you. So the more you can just talk about stuff that quote unquote bothered you in the past, or you're scared to talk about, the more free you become. Now, there are people on the other spectrum that share everything. And my hypothesis is people that are like that are narcissistic, and they're just looking for the shock and awe to get attention. So I think it's a delicate balance of, if I tell you something personal, I'm going to tie it into why it helped me, why it became my fuel in my business and my sales and how I think about the world, how I interact with people. So there needs to be a story tied to the sharing. So I really don't have a formula. I just trust myself and I let bygones be bygones.
Yeah, I'm like that too. As a matter, when I first came online, I wasn't even thinking like that. How much I should share and should I keep my personal life, secret? No, I wasn't even thinking like that. I was just being me, and I didn't really think about that until maybe 5 years later, and I started meeting other people, and I noticed when I would go to conferences, and when I would meet them in person, it's like a different person. Yeah, like a different persona. They had an online persona, and in person, it's like, oh, wait a minute, I feel like I don't even know this person. One woman, she actually had security. She had a bodyguard with her when she was out. Yeah. So it was like, okay. So that's when I realized some people have an online persona, and if you meet them in person, it's like they're entirely different. You might not even like them. You might not be able to connect with them in person. So I wasn't even thinking like that when I came online.
Basically like living a double life, which is draining and just basically stupid. Life's too short to be trying to live in lies in two different worlds where there's no congruency. Like, you're the most happy when like how you are online or how you are with your friends and how you are with everybody is the same, because you don't have to think about it. You know, obviously we do have different like personality types, and depending on situations and contexts, you might be more quiet, you might be more loud, you might decide what you share and don't share, but at your core you should be pretty much the same person.
Yeah, I agree. You know, so when you meet people, whether it's online or offline, how do you know, and maybe they want to get started, or maybe they have a profession already and they're doing well, but they want to do better. How do you tell them how to get started? How do you show them how to get started, I should say?
Well, what I really do is I ask a lot of questions, because maybe I'm not your guy. Maybe what my model isn't for you. So I really don't try to push people into boxes. I'm trying to figure out like what's your goals and like what's preventing you to get to those goals. And because I can give you the best blueprint, I can give you the best business model, I can give you the best advice. But if you're not the type of person that's hungry, that's disciplined, that doesn't want to be disciplined, it's not going to work. So I'm more of a listener and a question asker before I propose anything. Because the facts are most people are talk until the rubber hits the road, and then they decide to find something else that's shiny. Yeah,
you know, there's a lot of talking going on. You know, for a long time, you just had, it's not so much now, but at one point you had a bunch of product launches. People just come out with product launches every 6 months. Every 6 to 12 months, a big product launch. And people just jump in and buy it. And I think that went on for like 10 years. You know, now the thing is, now some of these people, of course, in the beginning I didn't know them, but after I got to know them, I asked them, hey, how much? Did you do well? And they said most of the time it was a lot of chargebacks. A lot of chargebacks, but that model, it's not sustainable over a long period of time. You know, that's the thing, you know.
Well, and it's not lucrative.
No.
Because if you think about, like, if you looked at your business or your life as an hourly wage, and you put in all this effort to make all these products every 2 months or a launch every 6 weeks or whatever it is, and then you charge whatever you charge, which I'm pretty sure you're charging too little, and I'm pretty sure that you're getting a lot of chargeback because your product sucks, probably because you're not an expert at that product. You'll realize that you're just wasting your time to break even. Instead of like having a skill that you refined for years, and you know it works, and you have a method that has been proven because you did it. Not once, not for 6 months, but for years. And that's when you can really just leverage one product or service. I'm more of a service guy. And you just do only that one thing. And you'll see the time you put into it drastically reduce. You'll see your income drastically increase because you created leverage. Most people don't understand the concept of leverage. They probably think about it like as far as like a financial thing. Yeah. Like, leverage for your, I need to get a loan for talking about a house and I only put 10% down, but I got all this money. That is leverage in that kind of realm. But if you leverage your skill and you leverage other people's networks and you leverage expertise and how to target the right person, the right avatar, life changes quick.
Yeah, I agree 100%, man. You know, that was like the missing ingredient that I didn't have in the beginning, because, you know, I came online, I didn't know anybody, and I didn't know anybody that was doing what I was doing at the time. That's why I talked to a lot of younger people. I said, you guys really have an advantage, because, you know, you guys can collaborate, talk to each other, hang out with each other. It wasn't like that. You know, it wasn't like that 15 years ago. You know, so that's what I mean when I say that a lot of younger people, they embrace the internet, they embrace technology. You know, I don't think I ever heard a young person say, "Hey, it's a scam." The internet. I don't think I ever heard it before. You know, yeah. So yeah, that's cool, man. You know, so if people wanted to work with you, where would they go to?
Go to creatorslearn.com, because if you're an entrepreneur, you're a creator. It's not just content creators. Anybody that sells something or creates a business is a creator. And so I have a bunch of cool freebies there that will take people through my process. And really it starts with your mindset, your vision, and then why you're doing what you're doing. And once you get clear on that, because that's like the foundation, without that, you're going to crumble in month 2 because there's no fuel. And then after that, we figure out, what are you selling? Like, does it make sense? Is it leverage? Is it lucrative? Is it simple? Is it essential? Is it digital, right? So, because if you sell the wrong thing, you're just going to be spinning your wheels. No profit margin, no freedom. You're going to spend a lot of time. And then after that's clear about what you're actually selling, then it's about who you're selling it to. And my whole method and philosophy is, you never ever sell to the person that is your target client. You actually just partner with people that are closer to your target client than you can ever be. Plus, they already have their trust. They do all the selling for you. They build all the goodwill for you. So you don't have to do nothing but sit back and wait for those checks to come in. And that's the ultimate leverage.
I agree 100%. So there you have it. Like, share this episode. All links will be found in the show notes. Until next time, we're out. Peace.